Oh, yeah. Okay, call the meeting to order. The agenda, everybody looked at it. Is there any additions or deletions or? All good? Connie moves the agenda as presented. All in favor? Carried. Minutes from the November 25th meeting. Connie, would you like to read them out to us? I was just kidding. Everybody read them?
I could sing them in holidays.
Oh, no. No, we'll cancel that. Okay, everybody's good with them? Keith moved the minutes as presented. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Ag reports. Ag Fieldman report. It's all up to you, Lisa. In your nice Santa Claus outfit. Miss Santa Claus.
That's right. Can only wear that a couple times a year, right? Okay, so we attended IST in-service training in Edmonton the first week of December. We attended many sessions and received credits that we can use towards our pesticide applicators training renewal process. So that's very good because we get a lot of credits there. We were notified of equine herpes virus. That's a notifiable disease in Alberta. It's in horses, and there was a report to the chief provincial vet in 2025. I really don't know much more about it other than getting a notification. There's been an ongoing outbreak in the US and then a recent detection in southern Alberta. So there's the notice in items for information in the agenda package to read if you choose to.
And you got it on our website too.
That's right, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, we did put it there. So Clean Farms, they've notified us again that the grain bag and twine collection program has been extended to December 31st, 2027. So that's been a pilot project until now, and now they're continuing it. So that's good news. We're kind of happy about that. Silage, plastic, and bale wrap will now be accepted for cycling as well, but we're waiting for confirmation and more information on those to see how we go about that. But
So we'll find out how clean that bale wrap has to be then, correct?
yeah, there will be, I'm sure, photos and guidelines and all kinds of things coming, so.
God, it's hard to keep clean,
Yeah.
especially now once it froze and rained. Okay, go ahead.
So with that, it says we're accepting it for recycling now, so can it be taken to the landfills then, or not yet until we actually have confirmation on how they're doing it? What are they
Yeah,
gonna
I would
do
just
with it?
hold on to it for a while until we know exactly how they want it bagged and things like that. I don't know if they're gonna come out
Right,
with a
and
separate
The
bag.
reason I say that is because I'd heard that we were accepting it, but so I went the other day with net wrap, and the young fellow was like, well, no, can't take that yet. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. I didn't think we were.
Yeah.
So I just
You
want to
realize it has to be bagged.
Yeah,
You
but
just
they
can't
have
take a
bags there.
truckload.
No, I know, but they have bags there. I could have put it in the bag if they had, because they got bags at the landfill. But
Yeah.
if we're not taking it there, there's no point in letting the public know that it's ready to go.
Ready yet?
And even with the
That's
silage stuff, it's probably gonna have to go in a bag too, because, I mean, those are all cut off in chunks as you open up the silage. It's not like it's a roll of it.
And with silage plastic in the past, like I know they've built like compactors just kind of out of old pallets kind of thing. So it's just a 3-sided structure with a bottom and then a pallet or whatever on top just to compress. Like the folded plastic, it's about 4 by 4 feet or 3 by 3 or something like that pieces, so they can time up easily, and the more compact it is, they can, that's right, utilize shipping more efficiently.
Go ahead, Keith.
So how big are these bags that they want, that they supply for mesh wrap?
We're not sure yet. There's still information that needs to come before we're gonna accept net wrap and silage, I guess, so plastic, yeah. So they were just letting us know, I guess, that it's in the works. I mean, it's been talked about for several years, and now it's actually gonna be a thing, so they're gonna send more information so we know how to collect it properly for them.
That'll be interesting. And how clean it has to be.
Yeah.
You know, how much
Yeah.
hay is, can be in it.
Especially now, like, you'll never get that net
Oh.
wrap clean this time of year.
No,
Not after it rained and froze.
yeah,
Even when you don't have rain on it, it's hard to get even clean.
Yeah. So that'll be the interesting part.
mm-hmm,
'Cause I know the guy at the landfill, he doesn't like seeing me come in with my load of net wrap. He puts me in a special place so he can put dirt in, so it doesn't wrap.
Will you
On the
take that
equipment.
into Red Cliff, right? To the dump?
okay.
Okay.
And again, this has been mentioned before, but the Provincial Ag Service Board Conference will be held at the Delta South in Edmonton, January 20th to the 22nd. And we'll register everybody who wants to go. The agenda package is now available and in the agenda package, like this agenda package and items for information.
Who, everybody going?
Who is planning, yeah,
I can't go.
You can't go?
I'll be just getting back from Mexico that day.
okay, so Kyle's out.
Okay. Keith?
You're going?
Okay.
Okay, so everybody but Kyle, then?
Everybody but Kyle.
Okay, okay, and then I'll,
Bring some back.
Okay.
so Salt Lover, so staff had an online meeting with Alberta Ag and Special Areas 3 to discuss the Salt Lover again. And we're just gonna be working together to decide on the best method to manage the problem here with our new prohibited noxious weed in the county. So we'll just kind of work at that a bit over the winter to see what we can kind of come up with. Staff conducted the annual inspection of the 1122 co-op seed cleaning plant on November 26th. And EFPs, so assistance was given to a couple of people working on their environmental farm plans in the last little while. And it says 2 more were approved, but I actually did 2 more this morning, so there's been a total of 37 approved by myself in Cypress County for this year. So that there could be other ones from Cypress County that I wasn't the tech for too. So I might be able to get that information from the EFP program at some point for maybe Q4 or something, reports like that, so. So that was very good. It's been a lot.
With inspection of the seed cleaning plant, did you also do the mobile?
No, it wasn't there. We were going to, so we have the contact and we will be doing that at some point too.
Okay.
And a photo, we did that.
Which phone?
What's involved in inspecting the mobile plant?
So you just look at the equipment and see if it's, depending if it's running or not, but if spouts and like the augers and hoppers and all that kind of stuff, how, if there's leaks or if it's duct taped together, and it's just a grading system, so some things might be rated like a 1 to 5, so you can kind of choose if it's in perfect condition, you can give 5 points or whatever. And so it's looking at that, and then it's also grading seed that comes from the plant over the course of the year kind of thing too. So it's all compiled and then averaged kind of through their system, and then there's a final grade that comes from all of that.
So how old is that plant? That's a fairly new plant, isn't it?
The mobile one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got
Oh,
it.
the mobile is new, yeah.
So it should pass pretty good marks.
Yeah, I'm sure it would, yeah. Even though the stationary one, I mean, it's old and it's strapped together in places, but it's functional, it's fine. Like the seed samples that we get are relatively clean, you know, like it's not very often that we find anything in them that's awful.
I just thought of something, and I'm not sure if you can answer it, but with these mobile seed cleaning plants, when they go from farmer A to farmer B, how do they clean? And- What?
Very carefully.
And they have to clean, they have to blow everything off?
Yeah.
In between farms, they have to, well, they run them for about 10 or 15 minutes, just run them empty, and they're out there with leaf blowers and air compressors, and they clean that right.
They
You
have,
have to have it, no weeds can go from farm to farm.
yeah, because what made me think of that, when back in my day at South Rock, with them crushers, like a gravel crusher, if we came from Three Hills and moved into a pit at Tabor, all that equipment had to be washed before we could get it into the MD at Tabor, in case we were bringing, because there's dirt and, you know, there's other seeds and everything that can be in there, so I was just curious.
No, the guy that comes to our place,
Yep,
he comes clean and he leaves. In fact, he probably takes him 3 hours after he's done cleaning his machine.
oh, okay,
But he does a lot of cleaning.
I just learned something.
Yeah, and the ones that we've inspected, like they carry leaf blowers and stuff too, and yeah, I don't know how long they take, we don't sit and watch that, but, yeah, they make sure.
But there is a protocol where they
Yeah,
really
this
clean
guy
them.
just does it on his own.
Yeah,
I don't think I don't know what it's like where he comes from, but between farms, he cleans her good.
Yeah.
At least I know he cleaned it when he left our place.
then he probably does it, you know, with
Yeah.
everyone, but,
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
okay.
Okay, any more questions? Thanks for taking the photo out there too.
No, the assistant.
So our rat inspections for the year have wrapped up. We found no signs of Norway rats along the Saskatchewan border. We have been working with communications to design new door knockers to leave on people's doors who are not present at the time when we stop at their house. They're just on the screen there. So this is just to notify people that we were there today. You know, if they were, you know, if they have Ring cameras and see people walking around and looking around, that they know that it was us. We had some old ones from like 2017 that were a little outdated, so we decided just to design new ones with the new information and the new graphics from Alberta Invasive Species. Our department received a new pickup truck this year, and we will be adding a Rat on Rats tailgate wrap with the new logo and graphics. This is just kind of a mock-up of what it'll look like. It goes in on Friday for the actual wrap. So, yeah, it'll have the new logo and the new branding for the campaign.
I love that idea,
Yeah.
on them tailgates. That's such a smart way to promote.
Yeah, so we thought this was good timing with this truck, because this will be more of our administrative truck, so we'll be using this truck to do our rat inspections. And then every time we get a new truck, we'll have some sort of tailgate wrap, whether it's weeds or rats or wild boar. But so for meetings, I sat in and participated in a meeting on the Alberta Biocontrol Consortium. Alberta Invasive Species and the MD of Ranchland spearheaded this initiative, and it stemmed from a vacancy in the Lethbridge Research and Development Center. Rosemary, who is the weed biological control scientist, has retired, and they have not filled her position yet. So the intention of this is to start a network utilizing organizations across the province to strengthen Alberta's capacity for biological control of invasive species. The objectives of the ABC are to identify and prioritize invasive species targets for biocontrol in Alberta, support the development and evaluation of biocontrol agents, facilitate knowledge sharing among member organizations, and secure financial and in-kind resources to support biocontrol initiatives. For the ASB newsletter, which I mentioned last meeting, but however, the proof of the newsletter is in this agenda package under the items for information. So I'm continuing my training for the Environmental Farm Plan Program, and on December 9th, I assisted the Manager of Agricultural Services helping a producer complete his Environmental Farm Plan. And then for rental equipment, our grain bag roller was rented out last week in the Hilda area, and he rolled 4 grain bags and delivered them to the Hilda transfer site.
Any questions for? No? Kennedy? No? Okay, Kyle's gonna move the reports as presented. All in favor? Carried. Any unfinished business? None. New business. Seed cleaning plant. Representative. Whoops.
So every year, we've had a representative on the board of directors for the seed cleaning plant here. And they've always preferred to be a grain grower, if possible. So if there's somebody on our board.
Yep. I don't grow grain. Well, it looks like Keith got railroaded into it again.
Keith, are you okay with that?
It's okay.
Yep.
Blaine will make that motion.
I'll make the motion that ASB move to appoint Keith Ritz as the ASB's representative to sit on the 1122 Co-op Seed Cleaning Plant Board of Directors.
Now, as part of your acceptance speech, you can fill us in a bit.
Okay. So,
Oh, could you use
All
your
in favor
mic,
of
please?
Keith?
vote me in first.
Yeah, all in favor of Keith? No? All right.
Okay, so,
Can you use your mic, please? Oh, is it something that?
So sitting in on the plant and just getting a feel for where I have to go to get there, I see some significant challenges ahead for the seed cleaning plant. I see some dwindling numbers. The mobile is a really good idea, but I think it's going to be really hard to break into the market. Partly because the people that use mobile already, if you're really happy, you don't switch. So I don't know how he's going to do that. It's going to take the right person to do that. And I think we've got the right person. He's willing to do it. It's going to take some time. And I don't know if he's got enough bushels at this point to break even. And you can't go too many years running a deficit. You know, I just see some challenges. For me as a producer, I think I took it once there about 40 years ago. And I said, I'm not going back down there again with my 3-ton. It's a wrong location. It was great when it was built. I don't know if it's functional today. I don't know. Just some things I see, and if we all scratch our heads together, maybe we can come up with some solutions. But I don't want to be negative, because for the people that use it, they don't want to lose it. But how long, you've got some staff members that are going to be retiring. That's going to be a bit of a challenge to get the right person in there. Just some things I see. I'm not saying that it's all doom and gloom. There's some challenges.
So Keith, I don't know if you were on board yet, but they had some land off of Highway 41A that was, you were gonna buy off of an outfit, off a person, set up a new seed cleaning plant there. They wanted the county to really invest in it, and it got turned down. They realize they are in a bad location, and the thing is old. But with the amount of, what's happening with the amount of, like you, the amount of mobiles out there, a new seed cleaning plant worth millions of dollars won't pay for itself anymore, so they're in a tough position down there. It is in the wrong place. They say, and I was on the board for a bit, and B-trains in and out of there, it was really, really, really tough. You gotta be a good driver. And, but that's the problem. That's why I understand they went to the mobile, because it was cheaper and try to, drum up business, but I really feel eventually that whole place down there they'll have to shut it down and just be a mobile or.
Yeah. Well, just like when I look at it, it was built for 3 tons. And 50 years ago, everybody had a 3-ton. Today, well, your 3-ton is pretty much relegated to the last truck you use. And even 40 years ago, when we looked at it, all of a sudden, you have to have a truck that's able to go down the highway safely. You got to be able to navigate the river hill. And we didn't have that. So the faster we could move to somebody doing it on our yard, the happier we were. We just didn't, you weren't 3 trips to town or 4 trips to town, especially now that you clean, you go from, well, we used to clean 500 bushels. That's, okay. But now you clean 4,000 or 5,000. Some people clean 100,000. Well, are you going to take 100,000 bushels of grain to town? It doesn't make sense. So the mobile really does make sense, and I really hope that we can gain some traction on that end, because for the facility itself, it's going to be kind of tough ahead.
If we were to lose the one that's in place down the flats there, would the mobile one make up that business? Or would it be something where we have to invest in a second mobile seed cleaning plant to make up for the loss of that one, right? Like if everybody's looking to do that, would it be smarter to have them invest in this?
Okay,
Fill this
so
one.
the question or the scenario is this. For us to get a seed cleaner in place, and we piggybacked off the colony, he said, if I'm going to come to your place, first of all, I want 3,000 bushels, and I want a hopper bottom to pull out of, and you look after it from there. I don't want to be pulling it out of a flat bottom bin. And we had to get set up to do it. But once we were set up to do it, we're away. And so everybody that, a mobile plant, it comes with its issues of getting into, if your yard isn't big enough, or you have enough room to move around, you're hooped. If you're back in the 3-ton stage, you can't get a seed plant in there.
Yeah.
And so there's some logistics to this, and that's just things that I've seen and observed, right?
Well, the way I see it, I mean, it's, as evolution goes on and things change, I think it's important for us to stay involved as far as somebody on the board, as to keep the Ag Service Board in the loop of what's happening there, but I don't foresee the Ag Service Board, County Ag Service Board, taking any role of setting up a seed cleaning plant. I think that's for the private enterprise to look after. So I think going forward, we use this as an informational tool for our ratepayers, and that's about all we can deal with it.
The 2025 ASB Strategic Business Plan Review.
There should have been, maybe it's just my agenda. There should be 2 RFDs though, so we can look at one plan. There should be the 2025 review, and then there should be the 2026. Okay, it's up there. I don't know why I can't find it. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna stay here so I have room. So it kind of gets a bit redundant maybe because you guys see this and then you see quarterly reports and then you see our year-end report and it's all the same information, but this is the strategic business plan and it was kind of reformatted last year. So it looks very similar to the grant application for this 5-year cycle. So the last column of results there is what we would have accomplished in 2025. So that needs to be in bold print all the time. And some of this might not mean a whole bunch to you, just how I've done it, but when we have a bylaw, then that's clearly in effect and we have that, so we can prove that, you know, we have approved council motions kind of thing for policies and bylaws and things like that for some of these items. And we do have to do reporting on the egg service grant, and that will be coming up shortly in the new year. So the information in this report can kind of get slid over into that reporting kind of thing. I don't think we need to go through it line by line, but if you want to, that's fine too. We can just kind of highlight some of the things. So also in here, there might be some red font and there could be some strikeouts and that kind of thing. So that's just a few changes that we've made that will go forward for 2026. And if you have any questions, just ask, please. So yeah, we do have bylaws and policies and procedures in place for all of the acts, and that will kind of show as we go. A requirement is for the municipality to have an egg service board, which clearly we do, and to have an egg fieldman, which is me. And then for Cypress County, we've got our assistant fieldman and our agriculture tech, and we all attend the training that is required. So I don't have page numbers either, so, okay. I know, I'm kind of all over the place. So the Agricultural Pest Act, we've done a lot with that in the years. We do surveying for Alberta Ag and all kinds of inspections and stuff with that, so that's very good. Okay.
Under our reporting of our grasshopper survey, what did you guys come up with this year for this region?
So it gets, like, all the numbers get submitted to Alberta Ag, and then they will do a forecast map from the data. So we're waiting for that to come out. I don't think that's out. That usually comes out in the new year. But yeah, some spots were heavier than others, of course, in the county, and yeah, we'll see what it kind of showed for the entire province. Is always interesting too. Yeah, and that's 2 years in a row, I think, for you, right? Oh, okay. And they were really early this year, like they were Do they have it now?
I do have one.
Oh, so here's some results from the 2025 survey. They do have it.
Big red dot. Big red dot.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, like I even got my neighbor who can spray the outside edges. That little deal that the county has on the back of side by side, using that,
Yeah.
that really worked. That kept them out of my yard. That really worked. Three bags of that. I was over that. But I mean, out in the field,
Okay. What else is in this one? Oh, sure.
I see it in, if you scrolled up one there and you're, yeah, right where you're on there, policies, and I know questions already been asked, but policies around control of coyotes. Is that something that,
So coyotes, there's been a poison for them in the past, and we've had that. We could offer to producers who have had confirmed predation, so a dead calf or something that we would have to confirm. And then the government of Alberta wasn't really compliant with PMRA, the federal portion with their label. So it had to be all returned. They had to create a new label and then redistribute it, and we didn't get that back. We didn't ask for that back because now in 2026 in March, it's got to be recalled again with different packaging and different label and everything all again. So we didn't bother for the few months. So other than that, there really isn't a whole bunch we would do with coyotes.
is there an opportunity to look at a bounty similar to what other municipalities are doing?
Things.
we talked about it.
Yep.
And it's a really, County of Newell has the $20 out on per head for a coyote. You start slaughtering them all, they eat the gophers.
Yep.
It's a fine line of what to do when you're screwing around with Mother Nature. Last year down south on my property, they come in with helicopters and shot 178 coyotes. And to save the sage grouse. I hardly see a gopher. I hardly see a coyote now, and a lot more gophers.
Yeah.
So when you start playing with Mother Nature, it's like like gopher with, and we talked about it with strychnine. You know, all of a sudden now the hawks are back. Were they eating the gophers that had strychnine in them? You know, it's the balance, and when we talked about it, bounty, we just thought, let everybody take care of themselves, because we don't want to get into control and spending the money of where people are hunting or they're, do it themselves. It's a tough line.
The trouble, so I have a question, I have a comment on that. So the trouble I have with the bounty thing too, so if you read Newell's thing, it says they have to be killed in Newell County. Well, how the heck are you gonna prove that that coyote got killed in Newell County? So they could be killed in Maple Creek and Fox Valley, wherever, and if we put up $5,000, let's just say for a number, and all of a sudden we end up with 250 coyotes coming in here, they're gonna be coming from everywhere to get the money. So I have a little trouble with trying to figure out how you would actually control monitor the program, I guess. So that's my comment on that.
And I guess I'd be similar to that, because like the last bounty program that they had that was put on through, I think it's Alberta Fish and Wildlife or whoever was doing it. There was trappers that were going out and paying guys for their coyotes, and then those guys were going in, and then they claimed all the bounty before anybody else got in. So I completely agree, like I see the benefit of coyotes and stuff with gophers. I just know there's some guys that have issues with them, and then without the fur market now, but I struggle because I also don't want to incentivize every person to go out and start shooting coyotes, because I like having them around because I don't want gophers. So it's just, I know there's going to be some ratepayers that are going to ask those questions of why we don't have that, so.
So that would be my comment back to them is, I think it's an extremely difficult program to monitor. And how do you take how do you get the money, which is coming from the ratepayers, to pay it out in a reasonable fashion? So that would be my comment back.
You know, do the 20 bucks a head, but you also need somebody, staff. You're paying staff to
Then what do you do?
monitor it,
Yeah.
you know, so it's something that I feel that we should stay away from. Keith?
My only comment is there's a lot of coyotes that come from outside the area. And I know it because I live on the edge of the area. And there's a lot of coyotes go a different direction. So, like you said, they could be coming from anywhere, and you have no way of, somebody owns land in the area, you have no way of doing it, no way of checking it, because it just really becomes really hard to monitor. I guess if I have a coyote problem and I shoot them and they lay there, that's fair warning to the next one. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Lisa, do we have a package for Kyle? Just a new member package with the policies?
Just reference the website is kind of what,
Okay.
with links, the policies and bylaws and our Ag Service Board page or tab or whatever on the
Okay.
website.
Okay, fair enough.
It's on there, yeah. Okay, so a few other traps, like we've had, we work with Stop Dead, so this Dutch Elm Disease Society, so we monitor in 7 different locations for elm bark beetles, because they carry Dutch elm disease, which can wipe out elm trees. Wild boar, we had one report months ago, and nothing ever came of that. I heard nothing back from that. The Soil Conservation Act, we do have a bylaw for,
Even with that wild boar,
yeah,
all the hunters found some, if there would have been one, somebody would have notified us by now.
would have, yeah. So the soil erosion bylaw is just if somebody has soil blowing and it's filling up the ditch or something like that, that they basically are responsible to clean it up, like to pay the bill for us to clean it up.
Had any incidents, or we're pretty good here?
Pretty good, that's right, yeah. Like we, of course, have some soil blowing, but certainly not like Tabor and Lethbridge and Newell, yeah. Yeah, so we always do a few inspections with that. the 3 full-time staff are appointed as soil conservation officers, so we do random inspections and, if there's calls or anything, then we check those out. The Weed Control Act, so this is kind of the biggest area that we deal with. There's policies and procedures and all kinds of things relating to weeds and weed control. We had 7 seasonal staff that were appointed as weed inspectors, along with the 3 of us, of course. We did about 95 weed inspections. There will often get calls for non-regulated weeds. German status, for one, is not regulated, but we've been dealing with that for a couple years in a pasture for a fella here. Milkweed, of course, we get calls about that every year. That's a native weed, but, we try not to kill that unless it's being requested and that sort of thing. We don't issue weed notices, although we might have to consider changing that, because if there is a prohibited noxious weed, really we are required to give a notice automatically, but we've never really done that. I've never issued a weed notice, and it wasn't a standard practice before I got here, so maybe going forward we'll have to look at that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's a bad thing or a problem. I think some people would probably be interested to know if they had a noxious weed on their property. Maybe they aren't versed on what they are, so an actual notice or I don't know if a notice is the right word, or maybe a education on it or something like that. Like, hey, by the way, you have this on there, and I mean, one of us will have to deal with it, kind of thing, whether it's you or the county. Just more of a educational type thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to start doing, maybe.
And so we would, after we do weed inspections, then we will often email the landowner and give them an information package, or just, verbally talk to them, or however. But with prohibited noxious weeds in the act, like, you are supposed to issue a weed notice for them to control their weed. The problem is, it's like often so much, it's like knapweeds are prohibited noxious, so the gravel pits and things like that that are loaded with it. I don't know, there's 2 sides of the coin though, right? So
Downy brome's another one. I mean, it kind of gets along in the ditch, and we're trying to control it, something fierce, but it likes to venture its way out into the neighboring.
but that
I guess it's not a
that's a
noxious.
noxious weed, but not prohibited
Okay,
noxious.
I get that mixed up.
So it still needs to be controlled, but it doesn't mean that you have to give a weed notice automatically. Like, they certainly could have a weed notice with that too, but the prohibited noxious should be an automatic weed notice. But then it was always the thought that we just wanted to work with people. And when I first started, it was eradicable weeds. So the county would spray prohibited noxious weeds for free. And then several years ago, it's gone to cost recovery, so then we started charging, right? And that's fair. And then people get uptight, because then they have to pay for something that the county used to do for nothing. And then with a weed notice, because then there's instructions and a timeline. So you have Russian knapweed, and you must spray it with, you can give them options, by whatever deadline we choose. Like, so if that's 2 weeks or whatever. And if they don't comply, if they don't do that, then we have to enforce it. So then we spray it, or we hire a contractor or somebody to do that, and then they have to still pay for it. So everybody's uptight and angry and, things like that, so.
I know, but it's still part of being a landowner. I mean,
Yeah.
there was years ago when, well, it wasn't that many years ago, when pipeline grazing, we hired that outfit out of Brooks to spray a whole quarter section for baby's breath.
Yeah.
And he come in with a big sprayer and sprayed it all. But we had to do our part. Sure, it's coming over from the base, but it was still on the land that we were responsible for, so we had to do it. It's just part of being a landowner, you gotta look after your fences, you gotta do this and this.
Yeah. Okay,
And part of our job as ASB to do that, to monitor it and look after it, so I think we should continue and try to maybe, I don't want to say enforce the word, but, yeah.
we try and work
Keep an
with
eye on it,
people.
I guess.
Yeah, as much as we can, you know, we get pushback, of course, but, yeah, and then it's like, well, can you know, we try and just work something out, like, spray half of it, control half of what you have, or choose this quarter and the other one next year, or, you know, something like, but you have to try. You have to put some effort in, so. That can be a whole nother conversation. Okay, yeah, so we did lots of spraying, and the summer staff would have to dig in, you know, baby's breath in the ditches and stuff on our windy and rainy days this year, and there was a lot of them, so they, yeah. The seed inspections, the seed plants, we did the stationary, of course, and there will likely be some mobiles coming up, but maybe not by the end of this year now. The Animal Health Act, so we've got the tag reader, and that was used. Oh, one page here. And yeah, we have got different things on the website and things like that, but. So we put all kinds of activities and posts and things about all the acts on the website and on social media. I'm not gonna go through all those. We've tried to do a couple workshops and things like that, post workshops or just information from other municipalities or organizations. We've got all our rentals. The seed drills were rented 35 times and the land rollers 18, so that was very good this year. Grain bag roller, the tag reader, skunk traps, all those kinds of things. We had planned to send somebody to the soil health and grazing conference this year, but apparently there wasn't one, so we'll save that and do that for 2026. And same with Farming Smarter. We try and send a producer to that. We had our Roots to Shoots workshop this spring. That was very good. There was 24 people there. And then we sponsor all kinds of activities and other organizations throughout the year as well. So the most common are the Alberta Invasive Species Council, our Ag Connections Conference, of course, the Farm Family of the Year, 4-H, the scholarships, Milk River Watershed Council, Heartland Training and Support Hub, and Ag for Life. And then, so this is the resource management stream of funding. So we get certain funding just for that. So environmental farm plans, we promote those. And like I said, there's been 37 approved this year by us, like in-house or whatever. We, have fact sheets and put it in our newsletter and all that kind of stuff. SCAP, so Sustainable Canadian Agriculture Partnership Program. We try and promote that too. We don't get a whole bunch of calls for that. I've had more calls about Agri-Invest and things like that. And just because people need their EFPs to apply for that. So other things, this is just events that we have to kind of plan for or think about, and to put it in the grant application. So just because it's in the application and on the business plan doesn't mean we're actually gonna go through with it every year, but it's there for that 5-year cycle kind of thing, if that makes sense. So,
Thought of. On your environmental plan, I don't know, when you're teaching it, do you tell them that they have to log on once in a while onto their site, to their account? Because I got notification this spring that I had to log in to my account to activate it again. If not, it would expire.
oh, really? Okay.
So if you got it, you gotta log in to, it's like a bank account that you never use.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they say it's dormant and not,
Had you started it yet? Like, had you?
I'm done. Like I did it
Yeah.
quite a while ago
Yeah.
and it's been there. And then I got notification that
Okay.
since I haven't been on it, I had to go on my site, just go on it, look at my information.
Yeah.
Then that triggered the computer to say that I'm active. If
Okay.
not,
Yeah,
it's
I
dormant.
never heard that, so
No, I got
Okay.
a phone call this spring and I had to do that.
interesting. Yeah, okay. Good to know. Thank you. Okay, what else have we got here? Extension, so for the watershed, so we try and support the Milk River Watershed Council and CWA, just with some of their events or by posting or things like that. Ag plastics, of course, we try and do as much we can with that too, so promoting that. And we'd sent away 54 twine bags for recycling this year, and 81, 81 or 90 grain bags kind of thing. There's a few more there now again, so anyway, that's been very good this year too. And yeah, chem jug bags too, they came and cleaned out. They didn't clean out, they took part, did they clean that all out now? No. Anyway, the Schuler site is a collection site for chem jugs. So that gets cleaned out periodically, and there's been 2 or more rolls of bags sent there, and they hand them out to producers who need them. And the rat control program, so that's, because we're in the rat control zone, we get a certain, I think $13,000 for rat inspections and that sort of thing. So yeah, we do our inspections twice a year in range 1, and nothing found there, no signs of rats or anything. We had 4 rat complaints outside of the rat control zone, so those are always interesting. You know, it's bats or pocket gophers or things like that often, so. So that's about it. Is there any questions? That was kind of just a quick, really quick, sorry. Review of 2025 activities and stuff there, and there won't be many changes for 2026, maybe just like typing edits or things like that. Yeah, because it's, you know, it's kind of just based off the application for the 5-year grant cycle, so.
I will make a motion that the ASB, what?
You never looked this way.
Still make a motion.
Where'd you find the German status? Was it in pasture?
Vinerville area, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is a perennial that's clearly liking it up there, and it's traveling with the prevailing winds. So, yeah. Yeah. So there's a taproot on that, so this summer staff go and dig that and help that fella out when we can. There's also some in the city that we were made aware of, and I think they're dealing with the populations in city limits too, so.
Okay, I'll make a motion that ASB moved to accept the ASB Strategic Business Plan 2025 review for information.
Oh, oh, yeah, and that too, like, just kind of, it's the same document and there won't be many changes, so if, yeah. Connie?
I move that the AFB move to accept the 2026 AFB strategic business plan as presented. All in favor? Okay. I guess we gotta go into closed session. Or before we do that, why don't we go through, does there anybody have any to discuss on items for information?
could we just make a motion that a representative has been chosen from the ASB board and they will be notified by staff? That make sense?
Yep.
So I'll make, well, no, Keith made, or
Keith
Keith.
made it.
Will, or the winner will be
Notified.
notified by staff.